Good morning. I'm Veronica Chapa-Jones, Deputy Director with the City of Houston. My colleague, Steve Tinnerman, is also here and available to answer specifically about the single-family home repair program. We just wanted to say thank you to Mike and his staff for working with us this week and over the past year. We had several challenges in putting the pieces of the program together. You're talking about the fourth largest city in the country with one of the largest states in the country, and the governmental fund, legal program staff, compliance staff, so we do want to say thank you. We appreciate the support the staff is getting today. We do request that we move forward with the recommendation. One clarification that I do want to make is while it seems that we've only assisted 8 households with disaster recovery, there are other households that we have assisted in the City of Houston with City of Houston dollars. When we're working with disaster recovery, there are additional processes in place that admittedly our staff is not used to working with. We have a state contract system, we have an approval process, and we have to coordinate because we are a large city with a central finance, central legal, and other city departments. While many people wish we could, and to some extent even myself, wish them away, there are city ordinances and state laws that we have to abide by as a municipality. So that being said, we've worked hard on those relationships. We've worked hard on minimizing those processes. We are gearing up, have geared up, have houses in the pipeline. And our main concern today and our appeal to you is that if we do not get the extension, there are households for which we have visited personally, received information, committed to provide assistance. We will have to go back again and say the contract is over and there's no longer assistance available. We have visited these households several times on our staff because we provide direct delivery of services. There are multiple organizations that have provided disaster recovery assistance in that region. It's a hard conversation to have with a homeowner. We're 3 years after the storm. We've got the pieces in place, we've got the capacity, the will, and the drive to get this done. All that we're asking is for your continued partnership to make sure that we meet this by next year.
Any questions of the witness? So Veronica, do I understand that your testimony is, especially in light of hearing Mr. Hindenburger's comments, that Houston's a big city with a lot of departments and we can't streamline this any more than it currently is? Is that the City of Houston's position?
We're definitely trying to do that. One of the challenges that we've had is, for example, taking contracts in front of council. The state law asks us to take anything over $50,000. So when you're talking a major rehab or reconstruction, every contract that we award to a contractor for that amount is having to go to council. So
how often does council meet?
Every week, and we're there. And
it's probably a consent agenda item, I would imagine.
Yes, a lot of times with little discussion. But the reason that I brought, and I have an additional 3 colleagues here, and I'll ask them maybe to just stand so that you can see where they're at. All of us have taken a relationship in the department in the city to help cultivate that. So we're talking to Mark Eichenbaum to council, Steve Tinnerman works with Public Works, I work with the legal department, Chris Butler also helps us work with city finance. So we make sure that there's somebody on the management team that is dedicated to pushing and making sure that we get what we need to get done.
What would be your thoughts on TDHCA embedding someone in the City of Houston for a while to see if we recognize just another set of eyes and ears on the outside, we can see ways or suggest ways to improve the process? If
they roll up their sleeves with us, we welcome the help.
Okay. Any other questions of the witness?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
Veronica, at what point did you meet with these homeowners and essentially promise them assistance?
There's a group of homeowners that we started meeting with it again in January. I've been with the department about a 1 year. Major homeowner education where we brought everybody in about a year ago when we were working on the loan documents to talk to all the homeowners about bringing in those pieces. We started again with January. We received fair criticism that we were too slow publicly, and there was the concern that we raised those expectations unnecessarily. We knew what our pipeline was, so between January and now, we have gone to, and we knock on doors, and we take the paperwork, and we ask for whatever the missing pieces are.
And what is the principal obstruction or obstacle to expeditiously concluding this?
The biggest challenge on that application piece is getting all the pieces together. Some of the challenges are because we're 3 years after the storm and some of the documentation is not available. We're all working with a population that may not that they need. So it's typically never one visit to a homeowner with a checklist. This is what we're going to get done. It's multiple visits. It's multiple phone calls.
For the integration, or you say your colleagues are meeting with Public Works and with the City Council's office, or the City Council and your outside counsel. What's the restriction? What's the impediments for their involvement?
The challenges usually are that it's time and getting somebody else's attention who's in another department offsite to understand the importance and get them to dedicate time to it. So the impediment is that we are a large city and it takes us going over and making that communication and saying, this is our timeline, this is our process, we need your help, and holding them to that. And we have been successful, and the other city departments have been very willing to give us over and above time to make sure that we meet our deadlines.
But you haven't. What you're saying, they're willing to give you the time to do it, but you haven't met them yet.
But they can. They have now. For to go through a procurement exercise, January through, actually it's ongoing, but the heavy part was January through March. So we had a dedicated procurement officer out of finance just to make sure that there was absolutely everything that needed to be done with those RFPs so we would not have one hang-up.
This is a passing inquiry here. Do you think that the potential for losing the funding on this would be sufficient influence to get them to put attention to the problem?
It is, and it's something that we do.
Mr. Chairman, I would just interject. We've had a good working relationship with Mayor Parker. I've met with her several times on not only some on this program, a lot on the weatherization program. I would maybe suggest to Kevin, if it's okay with you, Veronica, maybe we'll try to set up a meeting in the next couple of weeks with the mayor directly and see if we can just try to impress. I know of her commitment, but maybe she can between she and Jim and you. Just to underscore the importance of it. The last thing the state wants to do is obviously be in the position of taking money, but we do need to move the program aggressively, as we've had conversations over the last couple of weeks. And you've been a big part of helping in that, and we appreciate it. But if perhaps helping to facilitate that kind of a meeting in the next couple of weeks, just so that we're all hearing the same thing and know what the expectations are, might be helpful.
Sure, I'm happy to make that request.
Any other questions of the witness? Thank you very much.
Thank you.